Mic check, mic. Yes, to the topic. Welcome. Welcome to my new viewers. Today we have something different. Today is all about from creation. Society seems to turn the other eye. Turn the eye away. You understand? Pretend like it's not happening. Promiscuous. Some people call them nasty. Some people embrace it in the dark, in the shadows, while they criticize it in the public eye. Today I am speaking to this guy. Well, let me call him. Let me get it out of the way. Still have a minute. Kim Holland. I never hear about this person. Apparently, she's the this guy. She's the P Diddy of Holland. Yes, she owns and operates the Playboy Mansion of Holland. Hence the name Kim Holland. You see me? So let me get the ball started. Baby shark to. And when it comes to sexuality here in Holland, it's different. It's very different. It's different from in the Caribbean. Very different from in Jamaica. Yeah, in Jamaica we dance. Yeah, we express ourselves in a certain manner. But sexuality we keep that undercover. Yeah, here in Holland it's different. Hello. I just called
Hi,
my
how's
guy.
it going?
Oh, first of all, thank you for being here. Yeah.
Pleasure. Thank you
Yeah.
for what?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you for watching the video.
Yo, that video come across my IG. This just a small clip, and I had to go and search for the full video and watch it.
Yeah,
I tell you. But first of all, introduce yourself to those who are listening.
yeah. So I'm Tommy McDonald, and I used to be an adult film producer, but I started a podcast. Girls started telling me about terrible things they were experiencing. From there, I just started changing my ways a bit, really, and investigating the dark side of the industry, prostitution. Instead
You're
just making
breaking. You're breaking up. I'm not hearing you properly.
so let me switch. I put a microphone in, but maybe it's
Oh
not
no.
good.
Yeah, it's not good. The microphone is not good at all.
All right, let me change that.
Yeah, take your time.
So one sec.
Yeah, no problem. I realize you are a video guy. You mostly do visual because on your video you're always present on screen, and I see that you're very
Yeah.
good at editing.
I wouldn't say very good. I'd say I've had to learn
Yeah.
recently.
Mm.
Like,
Me, I am
honestly,
terrible at editing.
yeah,
But go ahead.
yeah. No, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm very shy on camera, so uh, I found if I'm walking around with the camera, I'm less shy. Feels a bit more natural.
Okay.
Um,
So
but
back
yeah,
to the original question. You were a adult porn producer, yes?
yeah, for like 10 years. And it was fun. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but we did it in a good way. Like it was very basic content. But when I started a podcast, it was supposed to be comedy, but it was like for the first time, the women in the industry had the opportunity to actually speak about what was happening, and they started reporting crimes on my podcast, and from a more like an investigation series where I'm going after kind of criminals in a way. And since then, it's been a wild 2 years. My work's been featured on, documentaries in different European countries, and it's kind of surreal because I feel like I'm just this kind of normal guy that's a bit shy, and it doesn't seem like I should be doing this. It feels like proper, respected journalists from big newspapers should be investigating these things, not me. But if no one's doing it, then I have to, I guess. It sounds silly almost.
No, it's not silly. And the big newspapers, they don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole because they are profiting from that. I always have a saying, and I am Jamaican, as you know. If I should keep a party at my house now, bear with us, folks. We're going off topic for a second. If I should keep a party right now in my house, you will have maybe a little marijuana there and 2 bottles of Hennessy, and that is where that's the cap where I have. You understand? But if you should go to say a politician's party, there is where the event is more elaborate. You understand? There you will find cocaine, you will find naked women, you will find all sort of things, and then above them, you understand? So the sky is the limit. Where paraphernalia, drugs, and all those things, the higher up you go, the more of those things you will find. You understand? So those who should be reporting on it are benefiting from it. You understand? So they will never report on it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does make sense. It's actually something I haven't heard in other countries, but it's keep telling me in the Netherlands. And obviously I'm an outsider, so I don't know how true it is, but people keep saying things like that, and it seems like there are powerful interests connected to whether that's politicians or whether that's organized crime and blackmail and things like that. I don't know. If you're seeing prostitutes and you're a politician and criminals know about it, then they can use that. It is what I would be. They could use that to control you and get what they want. But it sounds a bit conspiratorial, but people keep telling me similar stories over and over. So
if in 2025 you don't believe in conspiracy, then your head is simply in line in the sand. You're dumb, deaf, and blind if you don't believe in conspiracy. There's this guy in America, Epstein. You heard about him, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's crazy. Ghislaine Maxwell is right and female. She found guilty, but guilty of what? You understand? We are the clans. Yeah. It's like she go to jail. She's guilty, but we are the clans. We are the victims. It's like poof, everything disappears, isn't it?
They told us 2 months ago that the client list was sat on the Attorney General's desk. And there's no client list.
Yeah. It's like, so tell me now, why is she being charged? There has to be some victim, has to be client. But yeah, that's how it is. But
yeah, insane. But proving these things is very difficult, and there are a lot of conspiracies, and I'm sure many of them are true, but proving is so difficult.
I look down on those who would touch a female uninvitedly. You understand? If you assault a female, I will. I find that to be very disgusting. Yeah. Even worse, if that person is underage. Then there's no excuse.
Yeah.
There's no excuse. There's no excuse. And after saying all that, if a female now is of age in her 20s, yes? Because I saw your videos and I was like, so why these people who are being chastised, who are being abused daily, why stay in it? I'm asking you the question. Because I know you asked them the question. Why stay? Why not just walk away? What are some of the reasons female give you why they stay in that situation?
That is a question that I have really struggled to understand over the last 2 years. And even interviewing them, and you listen to their answers, and they'll tell you the answers, but even when they tell you, you don't understand. You just think, well, just walk away, just work in the supermarket, just do anything, run away. And I read this great book called Red Alert, which it's actually a Dutch book, and they just talk about human trafficking victims, like the women that have been forced to work in the windows. And it's more like an abusive relationship and more like a cult. Like these women are kind of broken down and brainwashed, and they're led to believe that they're in love with the person that's pimping them out. Every case, but that seems to be the most common thing. Often they'll have a baby with their pimp, and that's a very powerful emotional hold. And then there's things like trauma bonding. Like someone said to me, like, imagine if the person that's abusing you, like, holds a gun to your head and tells you, they're going to kill you or they could kill you. Like, that puts you in this state of terror. But then they tell you something like, oh, but I love you, so I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to keep you safe. You kind of have like the opposite emotion then, like this extreme relief and, this extreme almost like love for them, and you feel like special that, you know what I mean? It sounds hard to, because normal people like us, we don't experience these extreme situations. But when you're going through things like that, it's very hard to get away because you're so deeply psychologically dependent on the people. And there's more as well. I think like that's the more general steps. But I'd say the foreign girls, like the girls from Africa, the girls from Eastern Europe, who really have a bad time. Like they have some of the worst pimps imaginable. With them, they're in a country where they don't speak Dutch, they don't speak English. So how can they even cry for help? And they don't know where they are. All they know is their window and maybe where they live, like some flats that they're sharing with other girls. And they work, they go home. They work, they go home. Like their world is so small. And like, what can they do? Like, how do they escape? It's like they're on an island almost. And okay, technically they could run away and ask someone for help, but realistically, it just doesn't seem to work like that. It's very, very sad. It's heartbreaking, actually, when you speak to girls. It's really
it's heartbreaking. But you said the word work, yes, because the phrase was the work go home, work go home. So is it work or is it captivity? Is it work or is it kidnapping? Because if they work, that means they are being compensated. Am I wrong?
Yeah, you're not wrong. And it's the thing I came across was that these girls do get a lot of money, but they don't keep a lot of money. Because, like, on every person they see, the government gets the biggest cut. The government gets so much money from this. Because the girls, they have to pay their window. They then have to pay like sales tax or VAT. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, VAT. Yeah, VAT, yes.
On every customer. They have to pay income tax at, I think, is it 40% or 50% in another.
Yeah.
And like one girl I spoke to, she, like when COVID happened, she still had to pay her taxes from, the previous year, even though she couldn't work, and she felt like she was always in the window working to pay her taxes, to pay her bills. She didn't make much money. She had nothing, right? Nothing at all. But she kept working. She just, and yeah, I'm calling it work. I don't think it's work. I think to call it work makes it sound like you have rights and it's a job and the money's guaranteed. Like if you work as a postman, you know how much money you're getting every hour.
Yeah.
Whereas with it's more like being, it's more like maybe being a taxi driver. You have.
But I want to play a devil's advocate just for A second. Here in Holland, I'm a Jamaican living here. I have to work also, yes? I pay 21% VAT every 3 months. So I know what it is, and at the end of the year I pay 30%. So that's 49-50% of my salary goes to tax, yes? It seems like it's an uphill battle every year, tax, yes? Seems like I'm working just for the government. So I cannot and I will not sympathize with them when they complain about tax, because they do make the money. Yes? So if that female now would come to me with that argument, that point of view, I cannot sympathize with them, because they are just living in a world amongst millions of Dutch people who are going through the same thing, the same agony. We go through that every day. So they would have to tell me show me another point of view where I can sympathize with them. But on the paying of tax, working in that glass and complaining about the tax, no, I cannot. I may be wrong. Let me say that first. You understand? I'm just showing a different handle, because I myself am going through that with the tax here in Holland. So they are going through it also. But
I don't think...
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, sorry to interrupt.
No problem.
I don't think it's just for them. These are like deeply psychologically damaged people.
Individual.
And like when we go to work, we get to, do our job or do our business, but when they go to work, when they have to make enough money to pay their taxes, they might do something they don't want to do. Do you know what I mean? So like they might have to literally put themselves through something that feels like rape in order to get the money.
Psychologically, sorry to cut you. Psychologically, there I can sympathize. Psychologically, yes.
I think that's the difference.
Yes.
I understand it.
Yes.
But there's something else as well, and I think maybe you would need like a conversation with someone that knows more about how Dutch taxes work. But it seemed like once they are, making this higher income to a normal job, they kind of pay the taxes for the higher income they've been making before, and so they feel like they have to keep in prostitution.
Hamster wheel, just going around. Repeat.
Now, I don't know details of that, but that's kind of people were telling me, and it just seems like they seem trapped in it financially, but the bigger is psychological.
I agree. Psychologically, that's the worst.
Yeah, there's definitely some people that enjoy the work and do well in it.
Obviously, isn't it?
But the independent girls are in control. They're not in windows. They're, just working by themselves. They're picking and choosing their clients. So it's like when the girls are in charge of themselves, it seems like it's okay. It's not how you'd want someone to make money. Like, you care about them, but it's okay, and plenty of them are happy and have a good life.
Another thing, another question. When I watch your videos, yes, a lot of the females, majority of them have an accent, a very thick accent.
Yeah.
So my question is it the foreign females who are being how do you say it? Not traumatized, but they are the one who are getting the shitty end of the stick, for lack of a better word. The foreigners are suffering more than the locals, you think?
I think the foreigners are easier targets.
Oh yeah.
Because, like, I don't fully understand why, but like.
Wait 1 second. Yeah, I understand perfectly. I'm a foreigner here also. We don't have a cousin or an aunt or a niece or a nephew or a mother, father. We don't have no support. You understand? So that's right. Go ahead.
So, like, every Dutch girl I spoke to who was in this life had a very traumatic childhood.
Boom, bingo.
But girls tend to be, they can be very normal, they can have a very nice life, but they'll meet the wrong man who gets them into this. And that's where we get into more pimping and human trafficking things. And I'd say the Dutch girls that do it, they're more likely to be independent, damaged mentally. And the foreign girls, almost all of them are trafficked because it just seems how it is, that someone has to be very organized to, break them in psychologically, transfer them to the Netherlands, get them papers, get them somewhere to live. It's complicated for a girl that doesn't speak Dutch and doesn't speak English. Like, I wouldn't be able to do it. I don't know the Dutch system. I wouldn't know where to start. So some girl from, Romania, she's not going to have any idea. So it's obvious that there's somebody behind these women, and it seems like nobody's investigating, and it seems like not many people care about it. Maybe people would care more if it was Dutch girls who are being exploited. And it's sad to say, but that's my personal feeling. I don't know if it's true, but if it was Dutch girls, I think there would be stricter rules and there would be more police investigating. But I walked through some red light districts, and some of the ones in Den Haag were genuinely scary. I didn't feel comfortable at all.
Yeah.
And all of the girls were foreign. There were like what seemed to me like, obvious criminals just loitering outside. I don't know if they were running the girls or something else, but it just, maybe I'm being a bit prejudiced, I don't know, but it didn't feel safe to me, and it seemed like, where's the police? Like, who's policing this? Who's watching, make sure everything's good?
But behind those windows, it's not illegal. It's a gray area, but it's not illegal. It's like marijuana here. It's just a gray area. Yes, it's not illegal to be working in a brothel. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think it should be illegal. I think I don't think brothels are illegal.
No, it's not.
Should be allowed.
Yeah.
Because some of these girls are so poor and they're so desperate. They're just trying to feed their families, or children, and they might need a way to do that. But I don't think brothels should be allowed. I think the men and women that are the brothels, they're the ones making the money. The girls are not making so much money, and they're not needed. We've got the internet. Like, if someone wants an escort, they can call them and arrange it privately. I don't see why we need, to put women in windows. And I think, again, when they're doing it independently over the phones, I think it's safer. I think make the brothels illegal and make, the agencies illegal. Then, it doesn't stop human trafficking, it doesn't stop pimping, but it means that when you see an agency or when you see there is a brothel, you can just stop it. And the girls who are independent, the girls that want to keep doing the work, they can keep doing it,
When you were doing your interviews and all that over here in Holland, has a female ever requested to run away with you or come back to England with you?
It's
be honest. Come on. No. You stutter. No. That stutter was like 4 or 5 of them. Be honest. Yes.
No, I wasn't sure they might couldn't. So after the interviews, I kept in touch with some people.
Mm-hmm.
Body would go on camera. Most people would not go on camera, but I kept in touch with some people, and it was really horrible listening to the stories they told me. Like they were trying to quit, they would go to charities, or they would go to the government for help, and the government or charities would tell them, like, we can't really help you. Like, you should keep doing prostitution for a while. And even like when the girls were mentally broken and they were begging for help, the charities were struggling to help them. They didn't really have an answer.
Because
Did, and
it's difficult for them to get help because the females, the females who work at the charity center wherever, they are a little bit jealous. They are like, look at you foreigner coming here fucking our men, and we don't like you. That's just how it is. And the guys who work at the charity event want to fuck them. So they have it bad both ways.
you know
I'm telling you.
yeah, one girl actually told me about that. She said there was a lawyer that was supposed to be helping her, and after a couple of days, he was trying to have sex with her.
Of course.
And like one girl I was in touch with, not one of the girls in the video, but I had to contact the police to check she was okay because we thought she was going to take her life. And it's like, and I'm not her friend, you know, but it was very upsetting. Like it just showed me how deep the trauma is that these girls go through. Like it's not possible to comprehend it. It's like I've only seen a small window into what's happening, and I've made some connections, made some like, you know, friendly connections.
Yeah.
And the things they tell you, they're terrifying. Just the experiences these girls have regularly are genuinely terrifying. And it's a lot. It's just a lot to listen to. It's
Is it possible for them to say no? Behind the glass, a guy comes and say the guy is smelling, or I don't know, whatever, and she says no. Is it possible for them to say no? That's a question.
Yeah, yes, that's possible. And then what the hard bit is, and what the girls say is like, yes, they can say no, but then once he's inside, they have to manage the person. So, okay, they're going to say no to like the worst people, but like, look okay, or like, okay, it's not my dream guy, but you know, it's work. But like, if the man wants to do something that she doesn't want to do, she can't really stop him.
No.
Like the blonde girl said, she was raped every single day. She said, like, if a guy had dirty hands, she didn't want him to be inside her with his fingers. And she would say, like, and that's when the violence began, because it was just her and him. And, you know, who's going to believe a prostitute, you know? But she said she was raped every single day. The blonde girl in the video. And it's a horrific thing to think about, that even after you've filtered everybody and said no to the bad ones or the ones that are smelly or drunk or whatever, that even doing that, you still get raped every day.
And then she have to shower and go back in the window 10 minutes after.
Yeah, they don't have a shower.
No.
I don't think they do. No, there's no time. They just have a sink. They just, I think they shower before they start work. Or they just wipe the fluids off their body if they're, and they just clean up in the sink. The clients don't have a shower either. It's just a sink. And a single bed. It's like, I've seen bigger prison rooms, you know, like prison cells are bigger than the red light windows. They have bigger beds in prisons as well. Have you seen how small the beds are?
No, I have not, and I will not. Listen me.
No, I showed one in one of the videos.
No.
I did quite a few.
Oh no, I
one
did
of
not see the bed.
had a bed. It's a single bed, but
Mm-hmm.
it's small bed. It's like it's so small. It's and yeah, it doesn't seem clean. Like I was thinking that it would be glamorous and sexy and exciting.
Me too.
Yeah, no, it's like a factory.
Because there is Amsterdam. Yeah.
Hmm.
When you are abroad in America or wherever, and you read about Amsterdam, it first thing it tell you is the marijuana and the red
Yeah,
light district. It's a
yeah, it's
tourist
right.
attraction.
Yeah, when I was 16, I went there and I was so excited. You know, I made the mistake maybe of going with my girlfriend at the time, but we still, you know, we thought it was so cool. We were like walking around and looking at all the hot women in the windows, and we were like, wow, it's so advanced here. It's so, yeah, I want to be like this. I want to be hedonistic. And yeah, we, you know, smoked some weed and, you know, drank. We loved it. We just thought, why isn't England like this? You know, like, great. But I had no idea what they look happy in the window.
It is, yeah, it's sad really. My
Mm.
my most surprising part was you can't no, there's no shower.
Yeah,
So you have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 clients for that day and no shower.
16 clients a day.
16 and no shower.
Yeah, no.
And that so blowjob also go on back there, yeah?
Yeah, the girls say they do the blowjob covered, but
Yeah, who knows, yeah.
they can pay extra for uncovered. But
That's disgusting.
it's like I think if an escort is working independently, she could handle so many clients per day because she's got to travel to them, you know?
Yeah.
Or if she's working from home, she's comfortable, she can change the linen on the bed, she can
Of course.
freshen up, you know? But in those places, they've got to see as many as possible because if they don't, they can't afford, you know, they lose money. So the girls have to see, I think, 6 or 7 clients before they start making a profit.
Shit.
It's extreme.
You see,
It's really extreme. And imagine what that does to your body. Like,
I
you
cannot
know,
imagine.
you know, like when you go on holiday or away for the weekend with your girlfriend and, you know, you put in the time and you know, and afterwards you're just like shattered, aren't you? Like physically, like you've run a marathon or something. But these girls are doing this like all day, every day.
Well, as I said, it's yeah. I don't want to say it's a choice for them, but yeah, I would advise them. The mental aspect I can understand. You see me? But what am to do those who are retired now? After you having sex over 10 times or 10 different guys every day for how many years? What do you do with yourself after? When you decide to settle
Well,
down and ooh,
yeah, honestly, from what I've seen, the most common way that girls get out is
church.
they no, some with church, yeah, and church is a good thing actually, really good
God.
thing. But it's not the most common way. I think the most common way is when they get a genuine relationship, when they meet a man who really loves and supports them, and it's just real, you know. Once they have that, I find they can't go back to that work. Like they just can't do it.
Again,
Um,
after people play devil's advocate, that
yeah,
then I am mentally disturbed. If I should be like, oh, you were in a window for years, doing what you do. God bless you, but God have to be with you because I cannot. I cannot be with you. No.
well, it's interesting though because um, you know, I don't think any Christians should say, yes, prostitution is a good thing. But I think Christians have a long history of helping prostitutes. Like even Saint
Jesus.
Nicholas, like Father Christmas, was a patron saint of prostitution. So, and I think that's one of the really good things about Christianity is, not judging, like saying, look, you've sinned, you've done things but you can get better. Today's a new day. Like you can still have a good life. And there are some really inspiring stories that come from former prostitutes, especially the ones that go back and try and help the current working girls. But I think, it's hard for them. I'm not going to lie. Like most of them, when they do leave, they likely don't have a lot of money. They go, because you're not going to stay young and beautiful forever.
I know.
And when you get older, it can be very sad,
Wait, I don't mean to cut you. I have to, I changed my stance. Yeah? I was talking ignorance just now when I say I cannot be with one, and I cannot see myself. I would not go out and look one, but I have to change my stance, and I tell you why. Yeah, I am a grown man. I am almost 50. Some of the best workers in America, because they do podcasts on this now in America. Now that the internet open up, some of the best workers in America now are felons, guys who spend 20 years in jail, 25 years. They come out and they're well disciplined. Nobody is more trustworthy than them because they know, I only have one chance. I'm older now, and my loose days are behind me. Blah blah blah. This, that, and the third. And there are a lot of startup companies now who are just there to hire ex-felons.
No, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I'm telling. So when I remember that, I'm like, Michael, you're talking nonsense. Isn't it?
I think it's natural though because we want to protect ourselves, don't we? So we judge because we want to stay safe. We want to avoid criminals. We want to avoid bad.
Yeah.
But I think it's like I can't judge anybody because I used to have an alcohol addiction.
Yeah, if you are truly reformed, you're reformed. We're not talking about the ones who are pretending to be reformed. The real reformed one.
Yeah, the ones who are.
Of course.
And, no one's born evil, I don't think. I think it's bad luck, bad circumstances, bad choices. And we could all change. Every day is a new day to change and do better. And I really believe in that. I really do.
I am an atheist, but if there's a God, I will pray for those who are out there going through what they're going through. And if you can, just go outside and say, F it. That's all we have to do sometimes. Just throw caution to the wind and say, F it. There are work out there. There are works out there. UPS, DHL. There's a lot of warehouse here looking for females. Just go out there and just, if you can.
Yeah, I can share a story actually. Since I made the video, the blonde most in trouble, she has got out of prostitution. She's getting some help. She's getting psychological help finally. It was very hard for her to get. And she's got a job with training, and she was training to work in healthcare, just helping other people. And I'm really pleased that she has got out, and it's amazing to see. But none of the others I spoke to during that time have. But it can happen, and it does happen.
It's a sensitive topic, and we can talk all day on it. But now we have to change gear. You have another 10 minutes to talk about Kim, because she's the one I want to talk about.
I'm sure you can, because you're in Netherlands, and they're quite. The laws are quite.
Yeah, we will talk around her a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll just keep it in my, so it's. I don't
All
really
right, folks. This is this is this is where we stop the story for now. We will change gear and talk about one of the most flamboyant female in this country called Holland. Look out for it, isn't it?